Good afternoon. Today we're going to start with a gel application. We're going to do pink and white, overlay and coloured gels. The gel that I'm going to be using is NSI Secrets Gel. Okay. Now this is a builder gel, and with the builder gel you also need to use a bonder gel, and you can use a high shine top gloss coat. Each gel is different from each manufacturer. The gel that I'm using cures for 1 minute under an LED light. Okay. Before you apply your gel, you do need to prep your nail in the usual way by using sanitizer, cuticle remover, remove the cuticle, etch the nail, dehydrate the nail, use a primer if your chosen gel manufacturer requires it. If not, it may be a bonder gel, which is what I'm going to use today. So first of all, we're going to cover the pink and white. What I'm going to use is I'm going to use a bonder gel, and I'm going to apply the bonder gel. I'm not stroking with the bonder gel, I'm actually pushing it into the nail bed. So I start in the centre, I ease my way down to the cuticle. And what bonder gel does, it gives you a better adhesion of your gel. Always make sure you cap the edge, no matter what gel you are using. That then will go in the lamp, and it'll go in the lamp for 1 minute. I'm using an LED lamp today, and I'm putting it on for 60 seconds. Okay, so while the gel's in the lamp, I'm just going to explain to you something about the brushes. Now, I always use 2 gel brushes. So I will use number 1 gel brush, and then this gel brush. I always use a different gel brush, whether it's for colour, clear or white. So I do actually have a 3rd brush, which I use for my white. Okay. The simple reason I do that is so that if I use a coloured gel, if there's any pigmentation left on the brush and you then put it into white or clear, you're going to discolour your gel. So you've got to make sure that you are really cleaning your brush if you are using a coloured or a white gel. You can clean your brush with a brush cleaner. Alternatively, you can clean your brush with a nail wipe and cleanse. And sometimes it's called prep and wipe. So this is the cleanse that we use. Okay, so I'm just going to give my brushes a quick wipe. And the first thing I'm going to be doing is, now I've applied the bonder gel, and the bonder gel has been in the lamp for 1 minute, we are now going to apply what's called a builder gel. Now you can get builder in a bottle, and you can also get sculpture gel. Now the builder gel and the sculpture gel are strong enough for sculptured nails and tipped nails. The one that I use you can soak off. There are other builder gels and sculpture gels that you cannot soak off. These are called hard gels. Okay, so I've cleaned my brush. I'm going to go into my gel pot, and I'm just going to collect the gel on one side of the brush. Okay, ensure that you've got the gel off so it's not dragging across the table. And I'm going to apply it into zone 2. Now with this first lot of gel, I'm just going to gently, can you see how you can move it with the brush without actually painting? So I'm using little tiny circles, and I'm going to push the gel down to zone 3, the cuticle area. And then up over the tip. because I'm doing this nail in pink and white, I find it a lot easier to actually take out the smile line right from the first layer. You're going to try and leave the majority of the gel in zone 2. Just going to give my brush a quick wipe, and then what we'll do is we'll take out the smile line. So I'm going to take out this smile line. I do still have a thin coat of Bonder gel on the tip. That then will go into the lamp, and that will go in the lamp for a minute as before. Okay, what I will say is we apply the Bonder gel and we take out the well. We do this to help us keep a nice smile line. Okay, so after this is cured, we're going to go in again and we're going to apply another coat of clear Bonder or sculpture gel. It does come in different colours. You can get it in clear, you can get it in pink, you can get it in several different colours these days for the Bonder gel. The only difference between a Bonder gel and a normal gel is the Bonder and sculpture gels are strong enough to put on to sculptured or tips. Okay, a hard gel is also okay, but most of the time you cannot soak off a hard gel. So when you're looking to purchase your gels that you're going to use in industry, you really need to look at if they're removable or not. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go back in. I'm going to get some more gel. Apply to zone 2, because this is where I want to keep the majority of the gel. Using tiny little circles. You can go from side to side, or you can use the small circles, and all you're doing is you're just pulling the gel around the nail so that the whole nail is covered. What I will say is, if your gel is not a self-leveling gel and you turn your finger to one side or to the other side, the gel will more than likely drip to that side, so you'll end up with a bulbous layer of gel on one side. I'm only taking it as far as here because I'm going to again take the well out. So I'm going to clean my brush and then take out my well. This gives you a wall of pink gel in this area. So when you go to put your white on, you just need to go up to the wall of the pink gel. Okay, I'm going to pop that in the lamp for 60 seconds. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go into the white. Now, sometimes when you're using a white, it can separate. Okay, so I've got a pot of white here. It's not separated because I've been using it. If it does separate, you can just get a little mixer. Usually these tend to be for eyelash tint or something, but you can just stir up your gel prior to usage. Okay, and remember we're going to be using a different brush for this, due to the fact that I don't want to get the white into the clear builder gel in case any residue is left on my brush. You can put 1 or 2 coats of gel on. I like to go on with 1 coat of gel and then I would top it up with a second coat. Okay, so I'm going to go into my gel as before, just on one side of my brush. Place it in zone 3, zone 1. So this is zone 1, your free edge. Same as before, you're just going to touch the gel and you're going to pull it into the correct place. Don't worry if you go over the pink area. You can file over the area before you apply your top coat. So I'm going to clean my brush, and I'm just going to go around where the smile line is. And as you can see, that is leaving a little bit of white residue. But I'm not worried about it because I can file it off. You have to watch out for air bubbles. If you get any air bubbles, do as I've just done and you just prick them. Okay, so that then goes into the lamp for 60 seconds. If you're using a UV lamp, it's going to be 2 minutes. It might even be 3 minutes depending on which gel. So if you buy a gel from a wholesaler's, you must read the manufacturer's instructions because each gel has a different curing time depending which manufacturer you've purchased it from. We're just going to leave that in there for 1 minute, and then we're going to go back in and we're going to apply another layer of white. Okay. Once you get used to applying the gel, it is a lot quicker, and you can do 2 to 4 nails at a time. You mustn't do the thumbs at the same time like you do with a gel polish, because when you put your hand in the lamp, if you've done the thumb, it actually doesn't sit straight in the lamp. So what will happen is your gel will slide to one side. Okay, so I'm going to go back in for my second coat of white. I'm going to apply it to the nail, and I'm just going to move it to where I would like it. Okay, so majority of it in the zone 2, and then just pull it over the edge. Make sure I've capped all the sides. I'm not going to take it off the pink because I want you to see how you can buff it off the pink. Okay. So we're just going to go back into the lamp for 60 seconds. And then what we're going to do is we are going to buff the gel. I just want to buff it so that it's in a nice shape and it's straight. You then put a top coat gel on. Now you can either use a top coat gel in a bottle, which is a high gloss top coat gel. Some companies will have a gel and it'll just say clear gel. You can just pop that over the top, or you can put on, sometimes they have what's called a finishing gel, which is just a clear top coat gel. Some companies refer to it as a finishing gel. So you'll hear people say high gloss top coat, you'll hear people say clear gel or finishing gel. This is something you would put over the top of your finished nail, whether it's coloured or pink and white. Okay, so to enable me to file this nail, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use some cleanse, which is nail residue gel remover. So I'm just going to cleanse over the top. The lighting's pretty bad. Better. And then what we'll do is we will file it into shape. Okay. So I'm going to do the side walls first. On the edge. Then what I'm going to do across the smile line, I'm just going to use a white block buffer. And all I want to do is I want to take the excess of white gel off. Now I'm going to file this right down to where it joins the pink so that I get my nice smile line. It's been a bit stubborn. Use 180 grit foil. Rub it with a white block buffer just to smooth it all out. You have to be very careful with gel with dust as well. Okay, just bear with me while I just do the cuticle area. Okay. You can do this with a normal file, you can do it with an electrical file. But all you're doing is you're buffing it in. It's now nice and flat and smooth. There's no dints in it or abnormalities. So what I can do now is I can put the top coat on. Prior to the top coat, I'm going to go over with cleanse. Okay. And I'm going to use a top coat. This normally comes in a normal gel tub, but these companies now started putting it into a bottle. But it is just a clear gel. It's quite thick. It's not as thin as a top coat. It's what's classed as a finishing gel. Same as before, I'm going to apply it to make sure it's thick enough. Always cap the edge. Okay. And it goes in the lamp for 60 seconds. Right, so the next nail we're going to do, we're just going to do a gel overlay, but I'm going to show you how to get an apex, a larger apex, if that's what your client asks that they want. Some people like flat nails, some people like nails with a high apex. You'll get to know your clients as you move along and you'll know which they prefer. Okay. So just wait for that to cure. And then we can go back in on the next one with the Bonder gel. Once this is cured, you can actually go in and you can apply your nail art, you can apply any sort of gel colours because it's quite tacky. If not, you can just, there's no more filing required, so you can just go over the nail and there it is, it's completed. Okay, so that is pink and white. So what we're going to move on to now is we're going to do the overlay and we're also going to do a gel colour. Okay. So as before, I'm going to go in with a Bonder gel. Okay. So this Bonder gel comes in a bottle. And I'm going to apply it to the nail just above zone 3. Go down to the cuticle area, which is your zone 3. I'm going to come up to zone 2, which is where your smile line generally is, and zone 1, which is your free edge. Okay, so we'll do that again. So when you're applying either primer or Bonder, you must apply it so it goes into the nail. So I'm starting just above zone 3, pushing it down to the cuticle, which is your zone 3. I'm coming up to zone 2, which generally your zone 2 starts where your skin ends at the top of your nail. And then zone 1 is the free edge of the nail. You can see this being a wobbly nail, to be gentle with it. And like before, that goes into the LED lamp for 1 minute or a UV lamp for 2 minutes. The next coat of gel I'm going to put on, I'm going to put a base coat of builder gel. You can put a base coat of just hard gel. I'm going to use a base coat of builder gel, namely because I'm on a tip. So I need to know that it is going to be strong enough and it's not just going to snap. Okay, so just wait for that to come out. Make sure you keep cleaning your brushes. Although the gel doesn't set in the brushes because the gel brush is not under the lamp, sometimes if you sat near a window doing gels, they can get the sunlight through the window, and as you know, UV light does set gel. So please don't store your brushes or anything to do with gel in front of a window. So now we're going to go in with the builder gel. So I only want on the coloured gel, okay, I'm going to apply it in zone 2, but I only want a very thin coat. I'm going to push it down to zone 3, the cuticle area, because that's where I want the thinnest application. And I can just pull up from there. Okay, you only want this coat very thin for the coloured gel. All you're doing is making it so that the nail is stronger. When you're doing it for an overlay of a nail and a nail tip without putting any white on, you will need to start in your zone 2. Okay, and then we're going to manipulate the gel by small circles or small movements, only just touching the gel surface. The gel will move with the brush. You don't need to dip your brush into the gel. Tiny circles. Try and keep the majority in zone 2 so that you can build up your apex. And then you're going to pull it down gently over zone 3. Right, so the little tip is, if it's leveling gel and you're wanting a larger apex, what you need to do is ask your client to turn the hand over just for a few seconds before you put it into the lamp, and what will happen there is the gel will slide down and it will start to create the apex, and that then goes into the lamp for 60 seconds. Okay, we're then going to add a colour. So this colour I'm going to add today is a nice red. So we're going to go with this red. Okay, and I'm only going to add that one to the coloured gel. I'm going to use a different brush for that. So 60 seconds again. We're going to apply a coat of colour. Some gels, good quality gels, have a really high pigment, so you can get away with just putting one coat of colour on. Some other gels need 2 or 3 coats. If your gel needs 2 or 3 coats, it is better to apply the coloured gel to the nail in thin coats rather than big thick coats. Apply thin. So today I'm going to apply thin coats so you can see how it goes on. So we're going to go in with the colour one first, using a different brush because it's a coloured gel. I'm going to go into the coloured gel, and as you can see, it's not as thick as the other gels. Okay, so I'm going to apply it in zone 2. Again, same, push it down to zone 3. Very gently, just tease it up to zone 1. just by using little circular movements. If you need to apply more colour, you can apply more colour. As you can see, this is quite a highly pigmented gel. So the colour stays nice with just one application. And for my overlay, this is my second coat of Builder Gel. Okay, same as before, I'm going to apply it in zone 2. I'm going to ease it down to zone 1. And I'm going to ease it down to zone 3, which is the cuticle area. Keeping the majority of the gel in zone 2. Okay. So again, if you wanted an apex, ask your client to turn the hand over. And then it goes in the lamp again for 60 seconds. Or 2 minutes in a UV lamp. If you need to apply more colour, you can just apply more colour like a paint, like as if you were painting a nail. You don't need to put a thick coat of colour on. Sometimes if the coat of gel is too thick, it doesn't cure very well, and you'll end up with areas of the nails that don't cure. And then if you have to file them to get a shape, or for the free edge, you can file it and it'll just peel off. So it's always better with colour to apply thin coats and apply more of them rather than apply thick coats of gel. Once this is finished, I'm going to apply the top coat to the coloured gel. And you can look at your nails from the sides, make sure they're all okay. There's my top coat. Same as normal. Apply to zone 2, push down to the cuticle. It is top coat, so you can just then pull it over the whole nail. Make sure you cap your free edge. Because what it does sometimes is it will actually shrink back. So this is why we cap the free edge. So the colour you can either put over this, because you've put a builder gel on the bottom, it should be fine to just go straight in with a builder, with a gloss top coat. Alternatively, you can apply another coat of builder gel over the top. So the builder gel can either go over the top or underneath, but you must have a builder gel on with colour. Also, while I'm putting this top coat on, you'll see that my brush eventually sometimes goes red or blue or whatever colour you're using. The pigment in some of the gels actually does come through. If I keep painting on here, you'll see the pigment come through. So can you see that on my brush? So I'm not going to put that brush straight back into my pot. I'm going to wipe it with cleanse or gel residue remover, and I'm going to remove that so that the brush has got no residue of the red on before I replace it. Really careful with gels if you're using coloured gels, because the pigment is quite high and it is transferable into your clear gels or your builder gels or sculpture gels. It doesn't matter. make sure you keep your brushes clean and make sure you don't mix them. So this is going to go back in there, and it's going to go in for 60 seconds. And that's the top coat. Once the top coat is cured, you just go over it with a gel residue remover and you're done. You can file if you want. If it needs reshaping at any point during the application, whether it's pink and white, pink overlay or colour, if you need to buff it or file it, you can do so, as long as you use a gel residue remover to take away the sticky layer before you file, and you always place another coat, like a top coat or another builder gel top coat or a colour over the top. Otherwise you might experience little dents in it. Okay, so we're just going to take that out and we're going to apply gel residue remover on a nail wipe. And it's best if you get lint free nail wipes, because there's nothing worse than getting lint stuck on your nails. Okay, now so we've got here your red, your natural and your pink and white. Okay, thank you for watching. See you soon.